Over the last couple of videos, I've been exploring conscious intention and unconscious intention and the nature of how we create things. And a couple of the themes is that we tend to create the thing that we're focusing on. Where we put our consciousness, that's what we create. And if we don't choose a focus or an intention to create something, we tend to create unconsciously according to our old patterns, which is often not favorable. So, this week I want to focus on creating a practice to hold an intention long enough to create something new. Okay, so it's like keeping that thing, keeping my consciousness on an intention long enough so it has time to create itself. So when we create a new intention, it's a little bit, I don't want to make it sound discouraging, but the reality is we are swimming upstream a little bit. We have this pattern of unconsciously creating. We have this pattern of creating the old outcomes that we've been often doing for most or all of our lives, So it really is this big groove in the way we create things. Okay. I mean, we've done different degrees of work, but still, if now we're creating something new and it's going to be in a different direction, if not 180 degrees, it's going to be in a significantly different direction than the way we've been creating things. So it is a little unnatural. So what we have to do is we have to create some type of practice or program to keep this new intention in the top of our mind awareness long enough that it has time to complete itself. So when we create a little bit of review, when we create an intention, we're creating a partnership with life, with spirit, with the universe. And we're saying, I want to create this thing and we will create this together. So now life is helping me unfold this new thing. Some of you sat in the spring equinox ceremony that we did online this year, and you may have created an intention. And, the springtime is a really great time to create a new intention for the new cycle. It's not too late to do it, by the way. You can always create an intention. And so if you did create an intention, now is the time to maintain a practice of that intention. Well, what does a practice of an intention mean? Well, anything that keeps it at the top of your awareness. And I used a couple weeks ago, how we used to do affirmations and then put it on our bathroom mirror or on our refrigerator or our monitor, whatever else, where something we see often, then we just say, oh, and we have our new intention. It keeps our consciousness on it. It keeps our focus on the new thing. Because if we don't create a practice and we don't consciously keep our consciousness on the new intention, what will happen is, what I talked about a couple of weeks ago, it starts drifting back to the unconscious intention, which is more the flowing downstream, and is we have a lot of patterns. So we have to keep reminding ourselves, no, I choose this. Okay, I choose this. This is what I'm creating. And then we may forget about it and we start flowing back in the old way again. No, I'm choosing this. I'm going to create this. And that's the time of year that we are on the medicine wheel, or the wheel of life, is we've created an intention, some of us at the very least, or if you're going to create it, you create the intention, which is great. Now it's keeping our mind and our focus on that thing. So now because what sometimes happens, we create an intention, but then we lose our focus life helps us unfold a new thing, but then we're not paying attention to the new thing that's getting created, and we lose that opportunity. So what we want to do is keep our awareness and our consciousness on the new thing. So you can do that in a lot of different ways. You know, you can put the sign on your mirror. You can make it part of your meditation practice. You can make it part of your journaling practice. You can call out prayers or intentions every morning or regularly. It doesn't have to be every morning, but remind yourself. You can be talking about it to your friends. You can do therapy sessions, coaching sessions where a therapist or a spiritual coach kind of keeps you aligned with that thing. And when you start drifting into something else, they'd say, well, what about this? I thought you were going to create that. Or if you have a community of people, they can keep you honest. A lot of times that's why we do ceremony, is you're creating an intention in the spring equinox. You're creating an intention, and then there's 10 other people that are witnessing you creating that intention. So then they can say, hey, Mike, how's that new intention going? And you're like, well, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. It's like, what do you mean you forgot about it? I was there. You promised yourself, spirit, and your people that you were going to create this new thing. You know, so our friends and the people in our community, they can keep us honest as well. You know, and these are all ways these are all practices to keep our intention, you know, in our consciousness, so we can then be aware of how life is unfolding it with us, how, you know, and then life will start presenting us doorways and opening doorways and opportunities, and we'll start noticing, and we can start, you know, creating some things consciously, you know, that leads us in the direction of the new thing. And so that's kind of that is the practice of a conscious intention. It's yes, it is good to it does begin when you create an intention, when you offer an intention, that's when it's conceived. That's when it becomes pregnant. That's when it, but then it does require some gestation. It does require us to keep our consciousness in it. Then we recognize the things that life is helping us unfold. So that is my video for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week and you're enjoying your springtime. The weather's getting nicer and nicer, depending on where you live, I guess. And as you enjoy your week, my thought would be is like, what is your intention? If you did create one, how do you stay focused on it? How do you remind yourself to stay in the new intention? We used to say, how do you remember never to forget what your intention is? And then so you can stay with it long enough. If you haven't created an intention yet, what is something that you would like to create? You know, and how, you know, and then just decide that this is what I want to create, and there you have an intention. Maybe you can even have, you know, tell some friends or have some witnesses to keep you honest. And I will see you in a week.